Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Travel Buzz brought to you by Big Dreams Travel. Today we're going to talk about this week's news regarding Royal Caribbean's upcoming new ship, Utopia of the Seas. Thanks for being here, and before we get into today's topic, please take just a moment and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you can be a part of the Travel Buzz community. Well, welcome to our show for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, John Arthur, and we're so glad that you are here with us. I do want to remind you as we start that we also produce the Travel Buzz podcast, where each week we do a deeper dive into some travel destination, and we would love for you to join us there on our podcast. Just search for the Travel Buzz wherever you listen to podcasts, whether that is on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or many of the other podcast providers, and you can find us there. You can also get a video version of the podcast right here on YouTube when you subscribe to our channel. So make sure you subscribe today. Well, let's get started talking today about Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. Royal Caribbean has announced some details for this new ship this week. This ship is set to debut with passengers in July of 2024, so we're just over a year away at the time we're recording this, and it's going to actually open for bookings here tomorrow on the day I'm posting this video, so it should be open for you pretty quickly if you're interested. A little bit about this announcement from Royal Caribbean this week that is a pretty unique thing when it comes to cruise lines releasing new ships, and that is that this ship, Utopia of the Seas, has been specifically designed by Royal Caribbean to do 3-night weekend sailings and 4-night weekday sailings to the Bahamas from Port Canaveral. So again, many cruise lines, when they release these new ships, they always put them on their very popular 7-night itineraries. That's what Royal Caribbean, they've actually got a new ship coming out in January of 2024. It's a new class of ship, the Icon of the Seas, and it's the Icon class. And that ship is going to be doing 7-night sailings. So that's why the Utopia is a little unique, is that they've purpose-built many of the features on this ship to do those 3-night and 4-night short cruises. And of course, it's out of Port Canaveral, not out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale, which are maybe slightly larger cruise ports, although Port Canaveral has caught up in recent years. I think what's interesting about this is this ship is really going to be direct competition for Disney's brand new ship. You see, Disney, again, this was a unique announcement from Disney. They've done the same thing with their new ship, the Disney Wish, which just came out less than a year ago. They have released that brand new ship, and it was released not on 7-night cruises, but on these 3- and 4-night sailings out of Port Canaveral. So I don't think it's any coincidence that Royal Caribbean has come out here just a little while later and announced we're going to be putting our biggest and best new Oasis class ship, the Utopia, right there in Port Canaveral, the same port as the Disney Wish, and we're going to offer the same types of sailings. It's going to go to ports in the Bahamas, most likely Nassau, and then those sailings will all have a stop at Royal Caribbean's private island, Coco Key, which they call Perfect Day at Coco Key. And so that is going to be big time competition for the Disney Wish. Of course, those Disney Wish sailings stop at their private island of Castaway Key. And so that is one of the very unique features of this Utopia of the Seas, is just the itineraries they've built this on. This will be, like I said, it's an Oasis class ship, and this will be the 6th and final Oasis class ship in the line, we believe, is what Royal Caribbean has announced. So let's get into some of the features that will be on Utopia of the Seas. Again, like we said, it's going to be the largest Oasis class ship at sea, 236,860 gross tons. It's going to be just slightly bigger than their recent ship, the Wonder of the Seas, which is currently the largest ship at sea. The Utopia will hold 5,668 passengers. That's at double occupancy. So that number will be well up over 6,000 when you factor in triple and even quad occupancy staterooms. So just a large number of people. They're going to have so many of the great features that we've come to experience. I really think this is going to be very similar to the Wonder of the Seas we just saw. There are a few new features. They've done a few things differently, again, to make this for those 3 and 4 night sailings. But you're, of course, entertainment-wise going to see all the things you've come to know and expect out of Royal Caribbean. You're going to see the Flow Rider surf simulators. You're going to see that Ultimate Abyss slide. One thing they've done on this one is they've said that slide, which I think is around 200 feet on most other Royal Caribbean ships, is going to be 43 feet longer than on any of the other ships. So that Ultimate Abyss slide, which is a dry slide, it's not a water slide, is going to be longer than any of the other ones that we've seen. You're going to get 5 swimming pools on board, and that includes the adults only pool, 8 hot tubs. You've got the Perfect Storm set of water slides. They're on the top decks. The kids splash pad, which is called Splash Away Bay, which again is great. Royal Caribbean has been doing that for a number of years on many of their ships now. And again, they've added all of that pool and splash pad space, and they've increased it here on these recent ships and even more on this one, because if you're taking a 3 and 4 night cruise, that's probably the reason, is a quick weekend getaway, and you want to be able to spend time relaxing, and that's what they've got for you here. When it comes to dining, you're going to see, again, so many of the things we've come to expect from Royal Caribbean in terms of the complimentary dining. We're going to see some of the things from their newer ships like El Loco Fresh, the Boardwalk Doghouse, Park Cafe is on many of these Oasis class ships. And of course, other standard Royal Caribbean places. One new concept they've done on this, again, they wanted people to maximize their time, is they're adding what is called a poolside food truck. So it'll be kind of a food truck selection. We don't know exactly what this is going to look like yet, but it's going to be obviously right there around the pool, and hopefully increase the quick service food offerings that you have there around the pool area. When it comes to specialty dining, you got all of the great Royal Caribbean standards: Chops Grill, 150 Central Park, Giovanni's, Hooked Seafood, Coastal Kitchen, Izumi. Izumi is actually moving to the Central Park area on this ship. Of course, Johnny Rockets. So many of those great things from Royal Caribbean that we have on so many of their ships. 23 different bars. The Rising Tides bar, of course, the Schooner bar, the Cantina Fresca. The lime and coconut, which I think was new for the Wonder of the Seas, is going to be on this as well. And then the Pesky Parrot, which was also new for Wonder of the Seas, is going to be on this one. So a lot of different offerings when it comes to the dining and drinks there around the ship. Also on board here, this is a little bit new, is they're going to have 2 separate casinos. I think one of which is going to be smoke free. But they are going to definitely maximize that space, because again, people that are getting away on a short cruise, a lot of times that may be to enjoy some fun at the casino, or what you might call the adult arcade. But that's going to be a nice feature. The solarium, of course, is the adults only area, is going to have its own pool and hot tubs and day beds and panoramic views of the ocean. The Solarium Bistro will, of course, be included there. They've also included some new stateroom types on this ship. One of those is the Solarium Suites, which go right along with, right there next to the Solarium. Another room type is called the Royal Loft Suite. It's a room that actually sleeps up to 6 people. Has a private balcony, just a huge balcony with a hot tub and a table and a sitting area, wide open ocean views. That's called the Royal Loft Suite. And so, but again, almost 20 new room types on Utopia of the Seas. So Royal's really going out of their way to make some new room types. They did that on Wonder. We saw some really new and cool ideas. And now again on the Utopia. And one of the last kind of features on this ship that we know so far is that this is going to be the first Oasis class ship to be powered by liquid natural gas. So it's going to be the first LNG powered ship of those Oasis class ships for Royal Caribbean. A couple of things. As we talk about this ship, we definitely see Royal going to those 3 and 4 night cruises. They've designed Utopia of the Seas to really go after that section of the market, I think, of people, and Royal has said this, to go after the section of the market of people who are first-time cruisers. We know first-time cruisers are much more apt to do a short cruise, to see if they like it, and so Royal is putting maybe what's going to be their biggest and best ship right on that to hopefully hook these people. They want to create people that love the cruise experience and come back in the future. And what better way than to put them on their biggest and best ship? Again, going to be some competition with Disney there in that Port Canaveral market. I think they're also hoping to maybe pick up some people who are going to add on a 3 or 4 night cruise onto maybe a theme park vacation that they have there in the Orlando area, because this cruise port is just about an hour away from those Orlando theme park areas. So that will be that's certainly going to be an option for people on Utopia. So again, Utopia of the Seas is going to join Icon of the Seas as new ships for Royal in 2024. Of course, the Icon comes out in January of 2024. It's going to sail out of Miami. The Icon is actually going to be the first ship in the line of these new mega ships for Royal Caribbean. So it's not an Oasis class ship. It's going to be its own class, the Icon class. It's actually going to be bigger than Utopia and all the other Oasis class ships. Remember, Utopia was about 236,000 gross tons. The Icon will be 250,000 or just over 250,000 gross tons. So the Utopia will not be the largest ship when it gets released, but it will be the largest in that line of Oasis class ships. So I think we see here that Royal is doing some great things with their new ships. These ships that they're releasing are bigger. They're going to hold more people, but also going to have so much more to do than ships of the past. You know, of course, some cruisers out there, I understand, they don't love the mega ships, and everybody has their own things that they want out of that cruise vacation. These ships are going to fit the bill for a lot of people. The older or smaller ships may be something that a lot of people desire. In fact, my family, we just got back a few months ago off of Royal Caribbean's Adventure of the Seas, which is a smaller ship, a little bit older. We had a fantastic cruise. There was plenty to do. The ship didn't feel crowded, and so the only thing that I know about cruising is that the beauty of cruising is that there's something for everyone. Whether it's a large mega ship or a smaller ship or anything in between, that's the joy and the great part about cruising. Now, I know I'm certainly excited to get on board Utopia of the Seas and give that ship a try. Guests will be able to book Utopia starting on June 22nd of 2023. That'll be for Royal Caribbean Crown and Anchor Society. That's Royal Caribbean's loyalty club if you've sailed on them before. And then just one day later, the general public will be able to book Utopia for the summer of 2024 and onwards. Remember, the great dream designers at Big Dreams Travel who sponsor our show here are ready to help you book Utopia of the Seas or any other Royal Caribbean ship. So if you want to book, reach out to them at www.bigdreamstravelusa.com. Their services are always complimentary to you for a cruise vacation, and you get a professional advisor in your corner that's working for you every step of the way. Well, that is going to do it for us here today at the Travel Buzz. Make sure you check out all of our content by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Go find our podcast, and make sure you click that notification bell so that you know when we post new episodes or videos. I'm John Arthur. I hope you had a wonderful week and have fun planning those future dream vacations.